I know I usually get on here in the morning for my nutrition talks, but today we're going to do an afternoon one on vitamin E, which is the fertility vitamin. Vitamin E is a fat-soluble vitamin, and it has some antioxidant properties, which is good to protect from cell damage and support immune function. So vitamin E is very important. Most people that live in developed countries get enough vitamin E in their diet. You usually don't need a supplement for vitamin E, but they are available depending on your circumstances if you need them. It says fat soluble, so you don't have to worry about toxicity levels. Any A, D, E, and K are fat soluble vitamins, and they can be toxic because they're stored in the fat, so you won't just pee out the excess. And so it's just something to consider whenever you are thinking about taking a supplement of any kind. It also helps to maintain good heart health and is good for your skin. I know I use vitamin E oil, like if my hands get real dry. I've even used it on my face. I find it works pretty good. When I was doing my research on vitamin E, they did say that vitamin E has more skin advantages when taken orally. So you can drink vitamin E. I've never taken it orally, but I have seen people and heard about it. So just food for thought. If you are trying to use it for improved skin, you can apply it topically, but then you can also take it in orally. And then let's see what else we got. Vitamin E is a group of 8 compounds, so there's different forms of it. But that's getting into the nitty-gritty of the science, which is not what we're here for. We're here to get back to the basics and educate ourselves on just like the things that we grew up on, and to try to get our footing to get a more natural and chemical-free life. And then functions, like I said, it functions as an antioxidant, neutralizing free radicals, which can prevent damage from the cells and potentially your DNA. It supports blood vessel function and gene expression. And then vitamin E is measured in RDA, which is recommended dietary allowances. So it won't be in milligrams, it'll be in RDA for the most part. And then so when we get into the antioxidant properties of vitamin E, it protects the cell's membrane from oxidative stress caused by free radicals. So it basically protects the cell from damage, and may reduce the risk of chronic disease like heart disease and cancer. So vitamin E is crucial to protect the cells and to keep your cells healthy and provide those antioxidant properties. And then it supports good skin health, like I said, against UV damage and promoting wound healing. So if you have a wound that won't heal, vitamin E supplement can help in that department. Like I said, you can even, it comes in an oil, vitamin E oil. You can apply it topically, like directly onto your hand or your face, or you can even drink it orally. But consider that vitamin E is fat soluble and can be toxic, so do not take it orally in large amounts. Always consult with your doctor, do your research, and read the directions on the bottle, and that'll guide you in the right direction. It's just something to consider and be careful. And then for heart health, it prevents LDL cholesterol oxidation. LDL cholesterol is actually the good cholesterol. So it prevents the good cholesterol from being damaged, which is a good thing. Cholesterol is something that is an evolving science. It's changing. Most older people are on statins, which is a cholesterol medication. But I'm starting to think maybe in your later years, the cholesterol is elevated for a reason, for a health reason. The body it's really relentless, and it's much smarter than we are, so that could be for a reason. but the science is evolving in that category. Statins are not necessarily the safest drug from what I've read and done research on. So you can change your cholesterol levels with just diet, and that's the way to go. Don't take the statins. Consult with a dietitian or find research online, do your own research, and try to make these changes with diet instead of a man-made medication. That's what we're really focusing on, is getting ourselves off of the chemicals and back to the basics. So it also helps with brain health. It can slow down cognitive decline and like Alzheimer's disease and prevent oxidative stress of the brain. So that's always a plus. We want to keep our brains healthy throughout the years. And then for the skin and hair, often used in skincare products like moisturizers and anti-aging products. Vitamin E is in probably your skin lotion if you moisturize your skin. It can help conditions like eczema and acne scars, though evidence is limited, but I do find that it does help. Which is dark spots. I have used it for that topically, putting it on my face if my skin is real dry, and eczema is kind of the same thing. It's drying of the skin, so it does make sense to lubricate a dry spot. Let's see what else I got. There are some benefits to eye health. It can reduce age-related macro degeneration risk. So keeping a healthy diet keeps our bodies healthy, and all the things that go out eventually with old age, like vision and hearing and all that, can be potentially prevented by eating a healthy diet throughout your life. I always say, you have to treat your body like your vehicle, and you're only getting one in a lifetime. So you want to maintain it, you want to treat it right, you want to put good, wholesome ingredients in it if you have the option, which is very hard to tell what's good and what's not. We've gotten so far off of the path, but we're going to get back on the path together. I've been approaching it slowly but surely. I have been eliminating one product as I go. I just recently ordered beef towel for my skin moisturizer, and it has 4 ingredients in it. They're all natural, and the beef towel has some fat soluble vitamins in it, so it will be rich in vitamins A, D, E, and K. They do say that the smell is a little meaty, whatever that means. I haven't gotten it in yet, but I've heard rave reviews about them as for like reducing wrinkles and stuff like that. So I will give you guys an update on the beef towel once I do try the product, and I'll let you know how it works. But a lot of people are replacing their moisturizers, which, like I said, I'm eliminating chemical by chemical, but I didn't even think about my moisturizer. I was like, oh my god, it is full of chemicals. So that's how we're trying to not be overwhelmed by it. We'll just take it in stride. It doesn't irritate my skin. It feels good on my skin, so I just assumed that it was good for me, but that's not necessarily the case. So we want to try to put natural things on our skin, especially our skin is our biggest organ, so you want to try to keep that maintained and healthy if possible. Like I said, vitamin E, you usually don't need a supplement. If you live in a developed country, for the most part, you will get it through your diet. And then if you have a deficiency, a cause could be a rare, in rare cases, if you have fat malabsorption conditions like celiac disease, then you can have some trouble digesting the fat soluble vitamins, so that could be a problem if you are deficient. And then genetic disorders can affect it as well. Symptoms of a deficiency would include muscle weakness and vision problems, nausea, neurological issues. So that's just something to think about. If you have any of those issues, maybe So pay attention to your vitamin E intake and see if that can improve your vision. My vision recently, with me eliminating the chemicals, like I said, I've been doing it slowly, but my vision has improved. I can read a clock on my stove that I could never read before. So I don't really know what change did that, but it happened. So that's why we're on this this train together, so we can get educated. And then excessive vitamin E, like I said, there is problems with toxicity because it is fat soluble, can cause diarrhea, nausea, or increased bleeding risk. So just something to consider. It may increase the risk of stroke or prostate cancer, and long-term high dose can even reduce the absorption of the other fat soluble vitamins. So just keep that in mind with vitamin E. Vitamin E does have some drug interactions, so if you're on any blood thinner like warfarin or aspirin, you need to consult with your doctor. And then also it can interact with statins and chemotherapy drug, so keep that in mind if you are on any statin, a chemotherapy drug, or warfarin, like a blood thinner or something like that. It does have a drug nutrient interaction and something to be aware of. They say that vitamin E can potentially help prevent heart disease, but the studies are ongoing and there's no definitive evidence of that. And then let's see what else I got for y'all. So you should try to incorporate vitamin E rich foods like nuts, seeds, and leafy greens into your meals. A handful of almonds or just a tablespoon of sunflower oil can give you the vitamin E stores that you need for the day. So like I said, just a handful of nuts or a little bit of oil. Let's see. You can find vitamin E in nuts and seeds like almonds, sunflower seeds, and hazelnuts. You can also find it in vegetable oils, vegetables like spinach, broccoli, and avocados, and then fruits like kiwis and mangoes. I've noticed that kiwis tend to be high in a bunch of the vitamins that we've gone over. So kiwis is a good nutritious and refreshing snack, honestly. And then like our fortified cereals, eggs, and fish like salmon all contain vitamin E. So if you're looking to improve your intake, add a veggie like spinach, broccoli, or avocados to your dinner, a handful of nuts, or use a healthy cooking oil like sunflower oil or something like that. And if you guys have any questions along the way, just let me know. I'm happy to help. I hope everybody had a good day at work today. Big hump day. And if you didn't have work, congratulations to you. But let's see what else I got for you. A couple fun facts about vitamin E will be, it was actually discovered in 1922 by researchers studying fertility in rats. So that's why it's called the fertility vitamin. And it does help with fertility in men. It helps reduce oxidation damage to the sperm. So it does help make the sperm healthier and more thriving, more fertile. And let's see. It is sensitive to heat and light, so store all of your, it's always good to store vegetable oils and cooking oils in a dark cabinet for that reason, because it is sensitive to light. And then you always want to, whenever you're in the produce section, you want to shop an array of color. The more color, the better, the more vitamin and mineral array that you're getting. So just think different colors represent different vitamins and minerals. We love the yellow stuff in our house, but I try to, you know, venture away from that, just get bananas or pineapple and then get another color so we'll be more well-rounded in the vitamin department. And then now that we've done vitamin E, the only vitamin left we have is vitamin K, so that will be coming up next. And then after that we'll go over the minerals. The very first few videos I did was about calculating your calorie intake to know how much calories you're burning, because that's the most important part of gaining control of your weight, whether you want it to move up, down, or stay the same. You have to know how many calories you're burning a day. That's the first step in gaining control of your weight. And then we went over just like healthy tips, things that I learned in school. I went to school for dietetics, so I am educated in nutrition. But we went over carbohydrates, protein, and fat, and all of their roles in the body, which are the macronutrients, the big nutrients. And then from there we went down to the vitamins. Right now we've done vitamin A, vitamin B, C, D, and today we did vitamin E. So it skips from vitamin E to vitamin K. I'm not sure why, but I will try to figure it out in my research. So next time I'm here, I will give you guys that information. And then, like I said, we're trying to clean up our bodies via products and food intake. Like my moisturizer that I didn't even think about. You know, I use Dove soap. My mom also told me today that Aveeno is a good soap or lotion. It's just less chemicals. You don't want anything that smells too good, because that means that it's full of chemicals. I used to love like Bath and Body Works and stuff, but it's like that stuff just isn't good for our skin and our health overall. So hi everybody, thanks for joining. I appreciate everybody's time, and what I'm trying to do is really just give information that you guys can implement into your daily life. We're all about making small changes that can make a big change overall later. Like I said, I've been slowly eliminating chemicals, and then all of a sudden my vision improves. So that just goes like case in point to show you that these changes are important. We've gotten so far off base with what is actually normal and good for ourselves because we just did. It just happened over the years. We went to more processed foods. You know, everyone's grandfathers were farmers back when around here. And it's just not like that anymore. All of our food is in boxes. It's full of chemicals. So a way to not be overwhelmed by that is to slowly reduce chemicals over time and reduce the damage that they're doing to your body, because we're here to prevent. We don't want to treat ourselves when we're sick. We want to prevent getting sick. That is the most important life lesson that I can give you guys, is that don't wait till it's broken, because you can't buy a new body. You know, you can buy a new car. This is your one body, and you must take care of it if you want it to have longevity. So we have to do what's best for us. Also, we want to say we don't want your product anymore, corporate America, because they've done us wrong for so long. You know, instead of being innovative and trying to make better products, healthier products, whenever something's identified as harmful, taking it out, they've refused to do that over the years. They've always picked profit over people, and we just have to show corporate America we've had enough. You know, it's like they don't care if your account gets drained from getting sick from their products, as long as they're wallet is getting lined, you know? So it's very important to take the power away from them by not purchasing from them. A good rule of thumb, if you're looking for smaller businesses and more locally made products, whenever you're in the food aisle or the toothpaste aisle, you're not going to find the fluoride-free toothpaste in the center of the aisle. That's going to be where all the big dogs are. You're going to find it on the outskirts of the section. So just, you know, out of curiosity, go check out the outskirt of whatever section that you're in. You might find a product that is real innovative and consumer friendly and just comes from good people. You know, it's like we work hard, we expect good products, we expect people to do the right things in their workplace, and corporate America has always chosen profit over people. So we need to, you know, enhance the little guy's product, give them a fighting chance, and drain corporate America's wallet. We've given them enough, and they haven't given us much back in return. So that's how we're going to do it, guys. We're going to do it one small step at a time. And nutrition is something that has a special place in my heart. I went to school for nutrition. I was always interested in it. I learned a lot, but some of the stuff that we learned in school is not necessarily true either. So you always want to use your better reasoning. Like, I remember when we learned about the fluoride in the water in school, like there was no reasoning behind it. It was just like fluoride good, period. You know, like right there, that should raise a red flag, because everything else, they have this scientific process behind it and how it works, you know. So it's like whenever something's just oversimplified, it could just be like, hey, we're trying to put a band-aid on it to shut you up. So, and it did raise a red flag for me, but I wasn't quite as conscious then or aware about what was going on. I didn't really question much of product. But when there was literally like 2 sentences on fluoride. So if it's so great and so this and so that, then prove it with the science. But there was no science to back it. So I should have used my better reasoning then, but I'm smarter now. So you just always have to try to improve, keep your mind open. You never know what we learned or what we have learned over the years, what's right and what's wrong. And sometimes it could just be the messenger, you know, like my doctor, I trust him. I just don't trust whatever system taught him, whether it be continued education or, you know, doctors are just like everyone else. Like if they tell you like, hey, you have to do this at work or you're not going to be able to come back, a doctor's going to do the same thing. We saw it in 2020. You know, a lot of doctors, I think, knew better and knew what was going on more than they admitted. So that's why we always want to keep our brains open. The world is forever changing and evolving, and we are the ones that carry the knowledge and implement it. So it's just important. And then I don't know if you're new here or not, but I do handmade hula hoops for fitness reasons. I make them for adults, but I also make them for kids, but they're specifically made bigger than the hoops that you buy at Walmart or any retail store. So many people say like, oh my God, I can't hula hoop anymore. I used to be able to do it when I was a kid. Well, it's not that you can't hula hoop, it's that your hula hoop is not big enough for you. So if you're looking to get a good workout routine, if you're feeling stagnant in that area, hooping is something that you can do for just a couple minutes a day. It's customizable, it's a full body workout. You can literally just like dance with your hula hoop. I consider it my dance partner. Actually, I'm kind of feeling in a slump in the workout department. So I'm gonna grab my hoop whenever I get home. I'm gonna get me a little session in before dinner and call it a day. It really makes it so easy. They're very user friendly. There's on-body tricks, you can learn off-body tricks, and that's an evolving sport. So if you're interested in getting your health back and get your body where you want it to be, then I hope you follow and like and subscribe, and I'll be providing more information to you guys as it comes to me. And then if you ever have anything specifically that you would like to learn about, always let me know. I'm very open to it. It helps, you know, open up my mind to new ideas. So if you have any ideas or anything like that, something that you want me to talk about when it comes to nutrition, hula hooping, hoop sizes, anything like that, I'm happy to help. You guys have a great day.